The powder at Alta in Utah is probably the best. It's called the greatest snow on earth, but sorry, I'll get emotional, but it is. It is. My name is Bill Shorter. I arrived at Alta in January 17th, 1962. I'm originally from New York. I skied back east before I came here. I'm still here at 83, and I'm still skiing. The story behind the jump over the 1964 Corvair, which happens to be mine. But I was working at the Alta Lodge, and I think at that time I was only the assistant manager, but Alf Engen, who was the director of the ski school at Alta, came up the canyon and came in the lodge and said, "By golly, Bill, let's build a yump." And yump the road. And I said, "Great, Alf, let's do it." So we went down to the area, which is right across from the Peruvian Lodge, and we built a lip on the other side, and we packed down the side we were going to land on, so we had a good place to land. And we got ready to jump, and I said, "Alf, you go first." So Alf made it across, and I figured if Alf could make it across. And Ted Johnson, who was the founder of Snowbird, and this was before Snowbird, was living at the Peruvian, and he was also an amateur photographer, I guess you would call him, and he took the picture. And we probably did it for 4, 5, 6 times. We jumped across and walked back over and did it. And the pictures of Alf doing it were in a promotion for Chevrolet. My dad had me skiing, when I was very young back in New York. He was a very good skier and, skied way back in the 20s and 30s when he was growing up, and he got me skiing probably when I was 5 or 6. We would go to Lake Placid for Christmas every year and ski. And then I was a junior racer, and then I skied for the Paul Smith College ski team where I went to college to study hotel and resort management. I do have a story about my first ski run at Alta. 2 girls came up to me, they were waitresses, and they said, "New boy, would you like to go skiing with us today?" And it was at 18 inches of fluff. And I had stiff wooden skis from New York and thongs, that you wrapped around your boots and marker bindings. We got to top of Germania Lift, and they took off making turns like this in the powder. I made 3 turns and came out of both bindings. They turned around and said, "See ya, new boy." I went right down to the ski shop and bought some deep powder head skis that day so I could learn how to ski powder. Back in '65, when that avalanche happened, we had over 100 inches of snow in a little over a week. And we had no interlodge travel, like on Monday night, Tuesday, and then Wednesday it kind of opened up, and the sun came out, and the snow ranger came down to the porch of the Alta Lodge, and they were going down to shoot Superior, so the slide would come down and so forth. Well, they shot it, and with 1 round, and the whole Superior slide came down and covered the road. And the road was closed for a whole week. So it took them quite a while to get the road opened. And that's why you can see how they had to dig out that slide, and the jump was probably 30 feet deep across the road. There were articles in the New York Times, in the local paper here, about it. It was a big deal to be snowed in up there for a week. Seeing it there in the magazine, I had phone calls, and actually from somebody who got the catalog, a fellow named Gene Jensen and his wife Peggy, and he says, "Have you seen your picture in Sotheby's catalog?" And I said, "No," and he brought it by and gave me his copy. Well, of course, then the first thing I did is go down to your office at 9th and 9th and get about 6 or 8 copies. It's kind of put my chest out a little bit more. It was a big moment in my life, I guess now, that I'm in with, an article with Junior Banus and Susie Ritting, who are ski icons for Utah. And I'm, a jabón from New York.